guys, welcome back. So this is the look we're going to be creating today. It is a Get Ready With Me brought to you by the letter T, and that means I'm using all brands that are starting with the letter T. I have a lot of Tarte, Too Faced, Tarina Tarantino, Tre Stique, Tatcha, and even Charlotte Tilbury because I counted it. The T in the last name counts, okay? But let's go ahead and jump in. First with the Too Faced Hangover RX Replenishing Primer. This is a good, like, not illuminating, not hydrating primer, but it's just kind of like a, I don't know. It's just a good everyday primer. Like, if you don't know what you need for a primer, you can buy this. If you know you have super dry skin, get something with a little bit of hydrating or illuminating qualities. If you know you have super oily skin, you might want to get one that says, like, mattifying. But if you just have, like, kind of normal-ish skin and you're not sure what primer to get, it's not a bad one. It sounds weird. It's because I do have a cold. I've been fighting it for almost a week now. I'm kind of over it. Now I'm using the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. This is in the shade Warm Nude. I almost did the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea foundation, but decided not to. Warm Nude might be a bit dark for me in the winter, but acne going on right now, so I'm trying to use a fuller coverage foundation. Doing a second pass here at the areas where I have a lot of acne to cover. If I sound like I'm breathing hard in this video, I probably am. Number one, I'm sick, and number two, I am like 7 months pregnant when I'm filming this, so I feel like everything is like sitting on my lungs. Now I'm using the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. I have mine in the shade Light Medium. It's the Shape Tape Contour Concealer. I think that a lot of YouTubers tell oh, this is such a good concealer, this is my favorite, this is the best ever. I think it's fine. I think it's adequate. I think it does an okay job, but I don't think it's like my favorite ever. What I used first was the Real Techniques buffing foundation brush, and then this is the Real Techniques other brush that I use for concealer sometimes. Now I'm using the Tarte Smooth Operator Amazonian Clay Finishing Powder. I'm just going to use this underneath my eyes to make sure that that under eye concealer does not crease or move. This is the e.l.f. small tapered brush. If you have a large collection like I do and you're always like reaching for the same products and you kind of feel uninspired and you don't have the money maybe to buy new stuff and you know you have enough makeup but you can't help but want to buy new makeup, I'm just taking a little bit on the T-zone area. What I do is I try to create challenges for myself to use different products. Like today, I'm using all my brands that start with T. Can I tell you the last time I reached for some of these products is a long time ago. They're probably like not even still good, to be honest with you. But create little projects, little assignments. Okay, so I'm going to be using this Tarte the Sculptor. It is a like bronzing shade number 1. It's like a little crayon that has a bronzy color on it. I'm going to use that same brush and just see what happens. I haven't used this brush with it before, so yeah, I did an okay job. I'm just swirling it around, blending upwards, not downwards. It didn't really do it for me. I'm going to use the Too Faced Sweethearts Bronzer. This is the Baked Luminous Glow Bronzer. It's a duo. It is kind of shimmery, so you have to like that sort of thing. This is the Jessup Powder Brush, using the bronzy shade. The brush, not a lot, and just doing the edges of my forehead where it meets my hairline, I guess you call it. Alright, that was a whole lot of Tarte and Too Faced. Now let's move on to a different brand. This is Tarina Tarantino. And this is her Doll Skin Cheek Palette. It's a blush palette. It's got 4 blushes in it. And I'm going to choose the one that closest matches the shirt color that I'm wearing. I'm going to go with this one. I'm going to use that same Jessup powder brush. And pop that on the cheeks. I think I'm going to mix 2 colors from this quad. Because this one is matte and the other one's like almost glittery shimmery, but I think if I just did the matte one first, which is what I'm doing, and then maybe go in with a tiny tap of that glittery one, I'll just get a nice pretty shimmery finish rather than like full on glitter particles. Sometimes I want glitter on my cheeks, but usually that's when I'm having a glorious, beautiful skin day. And in pregnancy, those have been, let's just say, like, non-existent. So I had like a couple of weeks where I had really good skin, like in October or something maybe, but ever since then my skin has just been absolute crap. Crap, I tell you. Okay, so that's Tarina Tarantino. Now I'm actually going to use another Tarina Tarantino product. This is her I Dream Highlight Duo, and it is an eyeshadow palette. It's got 2 colors in it. A really light and like a more, they're just perfect lid shades. If you want a really natural eye look, these are great. But that whitish color makes a gorgeous highlight. So I'm going to show you that. This is the Jessup Tapered Highlighter Brush. Watch this. It's so pretty. This is an eyeshadow. See how gorgeous that is? Like, I just think it's almost better than a lot of my highlighters. I'm just doing a dot on the tip of the nose and a little bit on the cupid's bow. I'm going to prime my eyes with the Too Faced Shadow Insurance Anti-Crease Eyeshadow Primer. Just a tiny dot of this will do. Then I'm using this Tre Stique brand mini shadow crayon. This is in the shade Venetian Gold. It's just a really pretty golden lid shade. It is metallic, but it's not like really very, very foiled. I think it can come off just naturally shimmery. It's not like super foiled or anything. So I'm just doing a little bit of that on the lid, then I'm blending it out with my finger. Sorry for the stuffy nose. If you knew how many times I had edited out myself this going in this video or blowing my nose, you would be like, I almost didn't film. I have not filmed in 7 days because I've been sick and I like tried not to, but I gotta get some content up. Luckily I had a few extra videos like already ready to go, so I was able to, you know, take a few days off, but I was hoping to kind of stay ahead like that so that when I have the baby, I could just have videos for you guys. But this is the Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat Reshape and Resize Lip Liner. It's in the shade Pink Venus. Light pink. Kind of a warm pink. I'm going to go ahead and fill in my lips too. The reason I'm doing my lips now is because my lips feel really dry, so I wanted to get something on them. On top of them, I'm using the Too Faced Lip Injection. This is the glossy one called Like a Boss, and it is kind of like a purpley color, but I think with the warm color of this lip liner, it might actually work. And so, I think it's pretty. These kind of tingle a little bit, so if you don't like the tingle or like peppermint and stuff on your lips, the cooling sensation, you won't like these. I'm jumping around a little bit, but for my brows, I'm going to be using the Tarte Rainforest After Dark Colored Clay Eye and Cheek Palette, but really all I'm using in this palette is this bronzer. The bronzer is the Park Avenue Princess Matte Bronzer, and this is a Tarte brush. It actually came with the eyeliner I'm going to use today, but it just has a small like angle brush end. So I'm just taking this bronzer through my brows in small strokes. I actually didn't have a brow product that started with a T, or from a brand that started with a T today, so figured I would try my bronzer. It's a little bit light, but as you can see, this brow just looks more finished than this one. I don't know if you can tell. Alright, so I'm going to actually darken those out. There's a darker shade in here, like a dark brown. It's just a matte dark brown, so my brows just looked a little bit too light. See the difference? This one has a darker shade and this one has that. This one has just the bronzer and this one has that darker shade. I just think this darker shade matches my hair a little bit better, so. I'm going to use that bronzer that is in here as well for my transition shade. So I'm just taking a fluffy eyeshadow brush. This is the Sigma Taper Blending Brush, the E35, and I'm just applying that in the crease and slightly above the crease. So for eyeshadows, I couldn't decide. I have like the Tartelette, I have the, you know, Chocolate Bar from Too Faced, I have a bunch of different eyeshadow palettes that start with T, but I just like, I don't know, I wanted something that pulled a little bit more pinky purple because that's the color on my shirt. I've used a pinky purple blush, you know, pinky purple. I just like all these shadow palettes end up kind of pulling a little warm. So I decided to pull in the Too Faced Sugar Pop palette, which I have not used, I'll be honest, in months. But it has a really pretty plum, plummy purpley shade over here. It's really right up my alley today, so I thought I would pull that in using the e.l.f. contour brush. And this shade is called Blackberry. It's really just a deep burgundy plum kind of color. And I'm applying that to the outer V of the eye in tiny little strokes. Just trying to emphasize that. It makes my eyes look wider, bigger. Then I'm taking what's left on the brush in the crease. There's not much left. Do that blending, some blending with the eyeshadow brush I used for the transition color, the bronzer. I'm using a Crown Deluxe crease brush. And the color Sweet and Spicy from this palette, it's just a brow bone shade, like kind of an off-white. Using that right under the brow and on the inner corner of the eye. It does have a little bit of shimmer, so if you like a matte shade, I would not go for this one. But I still think it's really pretty, so. You could also use the Tarina Tarantino one that I used as a highlighter. But that's also shimmery, so. This is pulling just a little bit warmer than I wanted, so I'm going to go into the blush shade I used that from the Tarina Tarantino palette. I'm going to apply that on the lid just to get a little tiny bit of a pinky purple look in here. I'm not trying to like make it look like I got punched in the eye with pink, but just wanted it to pull a little cooler. Alright, I think I did it. Just a little touch of that pink, do you see? Not too much. I'm going to do a little bit more blending and then the eye look will be all done. The clean eyeshadow brush, this is the Sigma E25 blending brush. I'm using a clean one because I feel like the area between my upper crease and the brow bone was just getting a little muddy. And using a clean brush, just make sure that you don't have that purple in the crease wasn't like all the way up to my eyebrow, you know? This is going to brush away anything I don't want up there. And you'll be able to tell this has white bristles at the end. This brush is not clean anymore. So, yeah, it's fun. It was clean when I started, so it's picking up that excess product. Use the Tarte Inner Rim Liner. This is the Lights Camera Lashes Inner Rim Brightener, and it's basically a nude liner. I'm going to use that right in the lower waterline. What that does is makes the white of your eyes appear larger, makes you look more awake. See how this eye has it and it looks bigger, and this eye doesn't, and it just looks a little bit smaller. All it does is just make the whites of your eyes look a little bit bigger. Blotting off some of this lip gloss, it's tingling a little too much for me. Yeah, that was like too tingly. I'm using this Tarte Shimmering Black Night. It's the Emphasize Amazonian Clay Waterproof Eyeliner. And I'm using the brush it came with. This is from Tarte to paint a line on the upper lash line. And it's called Shimmering Black Night because there are tiny little shimmer particles in this liner. I just tell you that so that you don't go out and buy it and expect it to be like a nice black liner that's matte. It is not matte. I'll give you. See the little shimmer particles? I'm using the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. I'm going to leave the lower lash line bare today, I think. Maybe just a touch of mascara, but no pencil or anything. Alright, then I'll just use a little bit of the Tatcha Dewy Skin Setting Mist. Alright, so this was the Get Ready With Me, brought to you by the letter T. I know a lot of my Get Ready With Me's with different letters. I have many more brands, but I could have done the entire thing with just Tarte and Too Faced. I tried to pull in some Tarina Tarantino, Tre Stique, Tatcha, and I think there's another one in there, Charlotte Tilbury. But yeah, this is the look I came up with. I just wanted to match kind of like the mauve color in my shirt, but not like too matchy-matchy. So that's why I threw in some of the gold on my lid, and like I didn't want it to be too purpley pink, but you know, I want it to work. So hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.